Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the communication process. As we all know that communication is a fundamental to our existence and even our survival, as well as even for the survival of any institution, organization, or whosoever it may be. It is a process of creating and sharing ideas, information, views, some facts, our inner feelings, among the people to reach to reach to a common understanding level, and so that we can convey a message to the level so that the other person can receive or understand that message in appropriate manner. And this is the key to directing function, even for the management of any institution. And we can see that this is the important and significant factor which is included in our life processes, so we cannot ignore it. And but we can and first we shall understand what is communication process, how does it work, and after knowing the function of communication process, we can discuss about some other factors that are influencing the communication process. But today we will be discussing about the process, how does it work. Communication process is a two-way process, and here the receiver and the person who is conveying the message, so sender and receiver both are present, and they are encoding the messages, they are decoding the later on they are the person who is receiving is decoding the message. Feedback, environment, context, interference, what do you what do you infer, the way you receive the information, what is the source, what is the feedback, what is the message. These are all the elements of communication process, and today we will be dealing in detail about the whole process, what are the elements and how do they work. Communication process, if we define, is a two-way process where ideas, thoughts, feelings, and opinions, they are transmitted between two or even sometimes more persons within the with the intention of creating a shared understanding. Because whatever we convey, we have always intention the other person who may be listening, who may be receiving the message, the person will understand whatever you wish to convey to them. If they are not understanding, then the purpose of your communication is not at all solved. Define communication, if we see that a person who is encoding the message and it is decoded by the receiver. So they both have their own interpretation as per the information and knowledge level that they have. So the person who is sending the message, he will decode the message. First of all, he'll encode the message. Later on, the receiver will decode it, and after that, if the sender receives any feedback message, then he will also decode the message. So this is the process, and this proceeds further in this manner. And as we all know that if we wish to convey any information with the intention that other person can understand whatever we wish to convey to that person in the manner, the source, the message can be encoded in that manner so that the other person can easily decode that message as per the information, knowledge level, interest level of that particular person. So the term communication is derived from the Latin word communis, which means to share. Effective communication is when the message conveyed by the sender is understood by the receiver in the exact manner as he must have intended to convey the message. Sometimes what happens, we convey the message, but it is misunderstood by the other person. The way we conveyed the message, it must not have been encoded in an appropriate manner. So that's why the person who has decoded, he must have decoded it as per his own choice. So it is essential once the sender is sending any message, he need to encode the message in appropriate manner so that it can be received by the receiver in that manner. With that intention, the sender must have sent the message. Now, who is the sender? That we can see here. That the sender begins with the encoding process wherein he uses certain words. Even sometimes you can see they use non-verbal methods such as symbols, signs, body gestures, etc. You must have seen nowadays that in the on the social media platform, you may be using various signs and symbols, and they easily convey your messages without even writing a single word. If you're not good at writing, if you commit error in writing, if you are not good at expressing your feelings and ideas, in that case you have various symbols that are universal, that are known as universal symbols and signs. They will definitely convey your message in an appropriate manner. So to translate the information into a message, the sender's knowledge, skill, perception, and sometimes the background of that particular person, and even the competency level upon which he can work, has a great impact on the success of the delivery of message. So sender also has to keep all these qualities once he wish to convey the message in effective manner. Now, what is communication process? That we can see here, that the message is encoded and we always need a medium just to convey the message. And even we also do have a sender, because the message is decoded by the sender only, and even the medium, it is encoded, and the message and the receiver. So it is a two-way process. So basic elements are sender and receiver, and what are they conveying? That is message. That is the main important thing. And the way the message is encoded and the way the message is decoded, we do need a medium for conveying a message. And even feedback is also an important factor, which is it is also an important part of communication process. Later, how that feedback is taken by the sender, and even the environment and many other factors are involved in the communication process. Because as we all know that it is a dynamic process, if we are well if we are comfortable, if we are expert in communicating our feelings, our ideas, our thoughts in appropriate and effective manner, then we can see tremendous transformation can appear in our presentation, in our personality even. So it is a dynamic process that always starts with the conceptualization of idea by the sender. The way the sender conceptualize the idea, then only he can transmit. First he need to understand what do he wish to convey to the receiver, and later on he can think on encoding the message in various manners so that it can be inferred in appropriate manner by the receiver. So he can transmit the message through a channel to the receiver, who in return gives the feedback in the form of message or a signal within the given time frame, so that it can be confirmed by the sender that whatever the message he must have delivered, it is taken, it is received by the other party in the same manner, with the same intention the person must have conveyed the message. There are 7 major elements of communication process. These are the major. Apart from that, there are some more elements, associatory elements, that we may be discussing in detail. The next element is encoding. The sender always begins with the encoding process, wherein he uses certain words or non-verbal methods, such as we have already discussed the signs and the symbols, the emojis, and the smileys, the various faces that you must have observed in your social platform, such as WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and many other social platforms that you can convey the messages through the signs, the gestures, the symbols that can convey your messages even if you haven't written a single word. So to translate the information into a message, these are the mediums that can be used by the sender. And here, knowledge, skills, perception, and background of the sender is really important, because if the person doesn't know what is the meaning of any symbol, then he will never use those symbols in his conversation. So first of all, he need to know, he should be aware about what is going on in the contemporary world. If he is well aware of those things that are going on or that are prevalent in the communication world today. So the way people are comfortable in conveying any message, if a person is conveying the message in that manner, the person receives the message in appropriately that particular manner only. So a person need to know. You should always have the knowledge, even the skill. You should perceive. The perception is also an important factor that has to be taken care of. Even the background knowledge, if the person doesn't have the communication level, he may not have communicated in his life with many people, then he may definitely face difficulty when he has to communicate with unknown person or even group as well, we can say. Now, message is also an important factor, because if you do not have any message, the communication process will not proceed further. So you need to encode the message, because that is only, if you do not have message, then what will you encode? So you need to conceptualize what message you wish to deliver and what can be the way through which the message can be delivered in appropriate manner. The encoding, once you finish with your encoding, the sender can send the message, and even he can convey the message with his own intention. The message can be written, it can be oral. Sometimes you can even take the help of symbolic or non-verbal signs, symbols, body gestures, sounds, etc., or any other symbols that triggers the response of the receiver, because response is really necessary and essential. It depends upon the delivery of the message that you receive the response immediately sometimes, and sometimes you do not receive the response from the receiver. After message, the communication, after message, in the communication process, the next element is communication channel that is chosen by us, by the sender, to transmit, to convey the message. So that can be a face-to-face communication, that can be a mobile communication, even sometimes the messages are sent through broadcast, they can be written as well, they can be online, the way we are conveying, communicating to one another. So communication channel is also an important factor which is chosen by the sender, the medium through which he wishes to convey his message to the recipient. It is also essential to select carefully the message, select carefully the channel through which the message can be delivered effectively and in the appropriate manner, as you must have interpreted, you must have intended to convey that message, and even the message is taken or message is inferred or interpreted by the recipient. The choice of the medium depends on the interpersonal relationship between the sender and the receiver as well. Because sometimes the same message you must have conveyed to the unknown person, and you must have conveyed to the your best friend or your relative, your sister, your brother. So in that case, it will be received, it will be inferred in a little bit varied manner by each person. The sender and the receiver, they are the basic part of communication, and they convey the message. It can be oral, it can be virtual, as it is happening right now. It can be written, even some sound can also be sent sometime when you talk to the person on telephone. In that case, you are not talking to the person face to face, so the person cannot see your gestures, your facial expressions, but still the person can receive your message in that manner as you may have wished to convey the message. So some of the commonly used communication channels are here. So as per the requirement of the message, you can choose any channel just to convey if the message can be conveyed in written manner, and only then it can be received by the receivers in appropriate manner, then you should always go for the written matter. If you can convey the message through mobile, if the message is a type of message which can be conveyed once if you are in front of the person, then that message can be delivered only when there is face-to-face communication, and sometime you can think of conveying the message through broadcast also. Now, what is the role of receiver that we may see here? That receiver decodes the messages which is encoded and sent by the sender. The receiver is the person for whom the message is intended or targeted. Because if there is no receiver, then we may never encode any message, because that message is not meant for anyone and we are not willing to convey anything to anyone. So receiver is really essential part of communication process, because the receiver tries to comprehend it in the best possible manner, the way it was conveyed by the sender. The degree to which the receiver decodes the message depends on his own knowledge of the particular subject, experience, trust, relationship with the sender. If you do not trust to the person, the one who has conveyed the message, then definitely you will never take that message seriously, and even you may never receive the essence of that particular message, because you do not trust to the person whom you wish to deliver the message. So trust, and even what sort of relationship, what sort of bond you have. There are two persons, if there is a group, even then if it is a team. So it depends if the message is conveyed from one party to another party, one company to another company. So it depends upon the receiver who is taking that message. If it is the against party, if it is the opposite party, then definitely they'll receive the message in different manner. If you are conveying the message in your own team, then the message will be taken in another manner. And if if the message is conveyed by the parents to children, then they have faith, so the message is conveyed in the appropriate manner. As far as decoding is concerned, the receiver of the message should focus on the letter, sound, and even on the relationship, the type of bond he may be having with the sender of the message. So keeping eye on the word is really essential. Whatever the person is saying, you need to listen to it carefully, and You can cautiously observe through all the senses. The receiver interprets the sender's message and tries to understand it in the best possible manner. If he does like this, if he is involved in the communication process to that extent, then definitely an effective communication appears. Only if the receiver understands the message in the exact way as it was interpreted by the sender. The way you wish to deliver any message to the sender, and if it is received by the sender in the same manner, or if there is a confusion which is created after sending the message, then that means the message must not have been encoded in appropriate manner. So now there are the chances that the message must have been decoded, and many other meanings are coming out of that particular message. So you need to check, you need to visualize, you need to conceptualize. Once if you wish to deliver any message to the other party, you need to encode it in the appropriate manner, and when it is decoded by the receiver, then also certain qualities of the receivers are exercised. If the receiver is active, if he has good focus, if the information level, if the knowledge, if the trust, if the bonding, if the relationship of the sender and relationship of the receiver with the sender is appropriate, very good, then definitely that message is encoded and understood by the receiver in the same manner as it must have been sent and coded by the sender. After decoding, feedback is really necessary. As you must have seen nowadays, if you are watching YouTube, even then you may see these smileys that please give feedback. If you are on another social media platform such as WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, then also you may receive these types of smileys, these types of images which illustrate that whether you are happy, you are extremely happy, you are not satisfied, you are little satisfied. The way you wish to convey the feedback, you can convey even through the symbols also. So nowadays, this exercise is also in vogue. The feedback is the final step of the process that ensures that the receiver has received the message and interpreted it in the appropriate manner, the way it was intended by the sender. It really increases the effectiveness of the communication. It permits the sender to know the efficiency of his message. By receiving the feedback only, you can be well aware the way message was received by the receiver. The response of the receiver can be verbal and sometimes non-verbal, and even through these symbols. So various methods can be involved if you wish to take the feedback of your communication of your message that you must have conveyed, such as you can go for survey, you can take the opinions, you can even find certain results, you can all rely on the ideas that you may have received from the receivers. Even the rating nowadays, you must have seen that 3 star, 4 star, 5 star you need to give to a particular app, particular video, or particular thing that you must have seen on internet. Even sometimes your comments are also expected. So the response, how responsive a receiver of the message is, that is really necessary. Even sometimes you are asked to give your own advice so that they may improve if they wish to improve, or if they wish to eliminate the shortcomings that they may have. So feedback is really essential, and it has various modes through which you can deliver your feedback. Instantly, a person can give the feedback on through verbal communication to the other person. It can be face-to-face communication. It can be telephonic communication, and sometimes it can be a video conferencing or virtual communication. The way even I can ask to you right now when we are having virtual class that what were the shortcomings that you may have faced today, what would you like to alter in this type of teaching. So in that case, the receiver of the message can always give appropriate advice, appropriate feedback. So it is really essential to know the feedback, because the communication process only completes when if the message is received by the receiver in the appropriate manner. Now, environment plays an important role in conveying the message, because if you glance around yourself, then you'll see that your environment can include table, chair, lighting, computer, or many other things that you may be using. And sometimes some human beings are also around you, the room itself, and it can also include certain factors like formal dress that may indicate whether a discussion is open, caring, or professional or formal. Suppose immediately if I ask the student to unmute and switch on the video, then what happens if the person is energetically, enthusiastically, professionally ready to communicate, then he will immediately switch on the video. Otherwise, he'll hesitate because at that particular moment, he may not be ready to communicate as far as dressing sense and other factors are concerned. So your environment is really essential. Now, I am conveying the message. I am the sender, you all are receivers. And receivers, if I ask you to give the feedback and I ask you to switch on your video, in that case, you may be uncomfortable. If you are ready for the class, if you are ready to receive the information and even to take part in the communication process, then there is no problem. You can communicate, you can give your response immediately. But if you are not dressed up in perfect manner, if you are mentally not prepared, if you are in the position where you do not feel is comfortable to give your valuable feedback in that particular situation, in that case, you may hesitate to take part in the communication process. So, it is likely to have an intimate conversation when the communication process is going on physically close to one another, and even you can see the choice to text is influenced by the environment. So you can see here many images which convey many meanings. So you always select it deliberately to convey the message in a different manner. So environment plays an important role in communication process. After that, context is really necessary. In which context you wish to convey that particular message is really essential. Degree to which the environment is formal, informal, it depends upon the contextual expectation of the communication which is held by the participant. Suppose if you are studying at home and the home tutor is coming to you, then in that case, the communication process will proceed in different manner. If you are in a formal classroom where other students or your Friends are also studying. In that case, communication process will proceed in a little bit variant manner, different manner. The presentation or discussion does not take place as an isolated event. It is not that only you two wish to talk and nothing else will be involved. The context is the circumstance that form the setting of an event, statement or idea, and in terms of which it can be fully understood and assessed by the sender, by the receiver. When you come to class, you come from a different environment. So the person who is sitting next to you may be receiving that message in different manner. So all these things also affect the communication process. And one important factor is inference. The way you infer the meaning. Suppose if I said that you have to give your presentation in the next class, this is full and final. Now, the way you have received, the way you inferred the message, you will take it in that particular manner. How? It depends upon the observable data, selected data, your own assumptions, your own beliefs. Sometimes you'll take the message lightly because you'll think, okay, I'll not give the presentation next time because ma'am is not going to say anything. And sometimes you may take it seriously. You may infer that, okay, ma'am has said like this, so I'm going to give my presentation in the next class seriously. And the way you believe upon the words of the person who must have given the message to you, even the situations and choices you may have, if I say that you will not be receiving any other chance of giving presentation. So this is the final date of your presentation. So in that particular case, you do not have any choice. So you will definitely take the message, you'll infer it, you'll understand it in the same manner and you will give your presentation. So it depends upon the level of inference or the way of inferring the message, that how the communication process takes place. Whether it becomes a serious communication process or a casual process where nobody relies on anyone and they do not follow whatever is told by the other person or other party. So the way you infer, the way you take the message, it is really important. Now, the way we can conclude is, suppose you can see here this picture, the girl sitting beside the boy, what is she saying? That your food smells delicious. Now, she hasn't said that I want to eat your food. Still, how it is taken by the other person who is sitting in front of her, that she wants to try a bite. Interpretation which is taken by the receiver. She said that your food smells delicious. This message is given by the sender, but the receiver has taken the message in a manner that she wants to try a bite, and in as per the level of understanding, as per the level of trust, the bond, the relationship you have with the other person, you'll interpret the message in that manner only. And the process involves understanding, the sharing, and meaning. And it consists of 8 essential elements that we had already discussed: source, message, channel, receiver, feedback, environment, context, and interference. So these were the important elements of communication process that we had discussed today. In the upcoming session, we'll be proceeding further with the topic types of communication. Till the time, if you find any topic or any problem in today's session, you can always convey and we can deal with that particular topic in detail in the upcoming session.